taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society.
Like, we've forgotten all of the rules and everything for why some jokes are okay and some jokes aren't okay. Hasan has historically, and his community have historically celebrated the deaths of like wealthy people dying. They have like made, you know, like all the kill landlords and steal their shit and, you know, laugh at cops that are getting attacked and shit. Like, yeah. But when you're picking a group of people that your entire community kind of does like celebrate when they get killed or when bad things happen to them, the joke doesn't really work. It hits a lot different when the people that are joking actually think it's cool and funny that like wealthy people died. It's
Henry College is like doing. They were at least Patrick Henry College is like doing.
Wait, is this his current setup? Is this like a current video or is this like years old?
One good thing, which is that like if you have these millionaire, billionaire, WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is like in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society.
Teaching.
Okay.
The grossly affluent is a moral obscenity, and our economic system inevitably leads to oppressive and exploitative power hierarchies. Redistribution is the only ethical option. But now that I think about it a little more clearly, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? I think I heard that in a video game once. And you know,
he literally did the meme, dude. He did the meme.
That is literally like, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? Is a BioShock Andrew Ryan reference that is supposed to be libertarian, right? But actually, it is inherently socialist.
Okay, true. Break out the champagne, guys. We're slowly fighting the war against LSF because of how brain rotted Hasan fans are that infest this place. I never understood why DGG freaks out whenever other streamers that aren't Destiny make edgy jokes and hypotheticals. Zero doubt in the mind that Chad in that clip would be posting based if Destiny said those exact words, LeMayo. So I've noticed that like we've forgotten all of the rules and everything for why some jokes are okay and some jokes aren't okay, but I'll refresh your memory in case you can't understand it. If I did make that joke, it would be based and it would be edgy and we would laugh. But the difference is that me and most of my community don't genuinely celebrate when people are killed because they have a lot of money. That's the difference. A lot of people in Hasan's chat were laughing and joking and memeing that people died at the bottom of the ocean because of how much money they had, right? That's the difference. The difference is that we're joking and they're not. That's what makes it funny and that's what makes it not funny. That's what makes certain like, it's so stupid. That's like, this right here, this comment is the equivalent of saying like, why can a white guy not say the N-word but a black guy can? It's arguably like the same type of thing. Because generally people, when they see white people say the N-word, they generally assume it's racist. Where for black people, they generally assume it's not racist. Like, yeah, what a stupid point. It's called concern trolling. The reasoning is multifacetedly, intellectually dishonest, petty, and elitist. What a buzzword salad. Like, it's like, the funny thing too is if you're actually engaging your brand, it's so obvious, like the difference, right? Like if I tell a joke, but you think I actually feel it, it hits a lot differently than if I'm just like joking, you know? Like Hasan has historically, and his community have historically celebrated the deaths of like wealthy people dying. They have like made, you know, like all the kill landlords and steal their shit and, you know, laugh at cops that are getting attacked and shit. Like, yeah, it's just, so obviously people are going to take the jokes differently. Obviously I take the jokes differently, of course. I love how the themselves were unsuccessful in trying to cancel Hasan over this a month ago, and now DGG is going for a second attempt. I think they're getting tired of spamming basic necessity budget under every thread. Nobody's trying to cancel Hasan. Just because somebody says something that you guys say are dumb or stupid doesn't mean you're trying to get canceled. I don't know why you're trying to victimize yourself. He's the largest political streamer in the world. Like, why act like such victims? What even is the joke, though, that the richer you are, the more your daughters deserve to get I'm serious confused what the punchline is. Ding, 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 ding. Irony is when the actual meaning is the opposite of the literal one. You have to understand that before you can understand an ironic joke. But that's not how irony works, right? Like, let me give you an example of an ironic joke. Like, if I say something like, I'm glad affirmative action ended so that black people can stay in shitty neighborhoods and go to shitty colleges where they belong. That's like an ironic joke because obviously I don't believe that. Obviously, I think black people should have the ability to go to good schools. Obviously, I don't like the state of education, right? Like, the joke is ironic. It's not true irony, but the joke is ironic because it's, like, contrary to what I actually believe. I don't think that, like, obviously, right? But what is the irony in Hasan's joke about wealthy people, at least they're wealthy people? Like, what is the irony? And it's harder to point that irony out when you guys legitimately do have unhinged takes around wealthy people. Like, I don't know where the irony is. But where is the irony? So the poorer you are, the more your daughters deserve to be. The opposite of the literal one doesn't make any more sense. True, ding, ding, ding. That's right. The opposite take of what Hasan said doesn't make sense. What is the joke? Like, I'm going to explain this to you one time because I find it sad that you're so confused. The irony is that he doesn't actually think people should be, but is pretending to condone it within an exclusive group to show abhorrent it sounds when justified at all. No, that was not the joke. No, because you can't do that by targeting a group of people that you legitimately demean. No, I don't believe it works that way. No, I don't think so. If you switch the group to any other group, it would obviously sound just as awful. So when I say the group and justifying it, it shows how abhorrent any justification should be. Are we close to a chuckle now? No. If Hasan and his chat do justify the killing of rich people, then how different is it to justify upon them? You can't pretend Hasan randomly picked this group of people out of nowhere and has no animosity towards them. True. Like, the joke would work more if you were like, oh, like, I'm glad Hispanic people, like, have to go to these high rates of college because then at least it's just Hispanic people getting. That's obviously an atrocious statement, and it's obvious what the irony of the joke is. But when you're picking a group of people that your entire community kind of does, like, celebrate when they get killed or when bad things happen to them, the joke doesn't really work. Hasan fans trying everything nice. They don't care. They just want Hasan to interact with Destiny desperately. I don't think there's anything me and Hasan have to interact on, but nice cope. That gasps at this while saying protesters deserve death equal based. Oh, this guy posted 2 comments. Unhinged. I was just being ironic. LOL. Protesters doing what? Protesting. Is setting buildings on fire protesting now? Are those things the same thing? I'll answer for Eugenia's protesters burning down buildings past curfew, and I would do far worse than what Destiny suggested if some overweight tanky tried to Molotov my business. I don't think that was the word he used to narrow down which protesters he was talking about. Try again? Oh, he was just funny. I was going to say that's exactly what I said, but okay. Nope. Okay, nice. Rioters, and they do deserve death. So do bootlickers like you. Jesus. This is not a joke. Half true. I love when people else complain about whataboutism, especially when it comes to gambling, drama, then does whataboutism to defend certain streamers. True. So is he pretending to be offended by a joke? I'm not offended. I don't give a f what you guys joke about. I'm just saying that it's not, but you guys aren't joking. What is this? I don't understand, me of all people. Are you really going to go to me like, oh my God, is Destiny offended? Like, yeah, bro. That's what I do on stream all day. I just find stuff to get offended by. Destiny, and especially DGG, should be the last to talk about edgy jokes. Didn't Destiny later tweet out bomb threats to actual human beings? It's like, I feel like it's so crazy, like the unsophisticated level of engagement these people have with like any type of edgy statement or humor. And it's funny too, because like when you're talking about these people and when they talk about like Friend World or when they talk about like Pepe the Frog, well, now it's like, hold on. edgy jokes that come from certain communities that might embody racial stereotypes and certain characters that might resemble those people is actually bad, because if you engage with that humor, then over a long period of time, what it does is it normalizes the concept in your mind that you might be more amenable to harmful stereotypes about those groups of people. So not only will you be okay with the humor, you'll be okay with harmful stereotypes, and then eventually true statements will be things that you're gonna be okay with, that or people making statements about reality that aren't true because all stereotypes are false, blah, blah, blah. Then it's gonna change the way you vote, and then it's gonna lead to fascism, right? When it comes to Pepe the Frog, they're gonna write like a 27-page paper on why jokes are bad. But then when it comes to like Hasan being like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if rich people got more? Then it's like, oh, bro, it's just a joke. Who cares? Yeah, okay, dude. And unironically argue mass shooters have full moral right to gun down a crowd if they feel aggressed upon in any way. Jesus. Also, none of these things here that you're talking about, except for my bomb threat, none of these were jokes. I'm not like, there's no irony here. Like, what do you, like, why are you comparing actual political systems I have to like whether or not a joke is unhinged or not? Only a few things unite TGG. Love for saying the N-word in public, discussing the merits of incest and CP, and class solidarity. Jesus. Implying that the average Hasan viewer doesn't come from like an 8-figure family? Okay, dude. Oh, another LSF threat. We are going to be fighting in LSF, okay? I do condone the fighting. It's indefensible. I said at the time, a lot of us love edgy shit. I love to laugh at horrible events, but we know, especially among our close friends, we aren't actually celebrating someone dying or making fun. Yeah, true. Like, dude, there are some submarine jokes that were hilarious. And I think it is funny. It's kind of a, but also a little bit of a funny situation. Some of the richest people in the world get into a tiny ass tube and they get crushed to the bottom of the ocean. There's a lot of dark humor to be found there. I agree with that. But it hits a lot different when the people that are joking actually think it's cool and funny that like wealthy people died. It's supposed to be dark humor because it's bad, not because you actually agree with it. Then it's just, yeah, it's not dark humor anymore. It's just like you accurately stating your belief.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.